Live ND is a very unique feature in the new Olympus OM-D E-M1X, and I'm gonna test it today, so stick around. Hi there, Peter Forgegarden, Olympus visionary from Helsinki, Finland. And before we start experimenting what the Live ND actually is, please consider to subscribe to my channel. My channel is all about you getting to be a better photographer. And don't forget to hit that bell so you get notified when there's a new video online. I post videos twice a week on Tuesdays and on Fridays. Live ND is actually a built-in ND filter that is done with a software. Traditional ND filters need to be screwed in front of the lens. But of course the traditional ND filter is still very useful. But then you have a glass in front of your lens and it might affect your image quality. With Live ND you do not have any glass in front of the or a filter in front of the lens, so it won't affect on your image quality. In that sense, Live ND is a very interesting concept. Live ND has done the same thing to motion blur images as LiveComp did to light trail images. So you can actually see what the motion blur will look on your screen when you use the Live ND. So Live ND can help you a lot when making images of moving objects or moving water and make it a lot easier. Have you tried Live ND yet? If you have, please let me know down in the comments below and tell me what you think about it. But before you can start using Live ND, you need to turn it on because the default setting is off. And let's see how you turn it on. You can find the Live ND from shooting menu 2. But if it's grayed out like this, then you need to have either the shutter priority or manual mode. Otherwise it won't work. So let's go. Now you can see it's not grayed out. First you can turn it on and then you can choose your ND filter. And as you can see, you have ND2, ND4, 8, 16, 32. And this 32 is 5 stops and ND1 is 1 stop. And then you can have the live simulation on or off. If you don't want to see the preview of your Live ND, then you can just turn it off. But I think the best way to have it is to have it on. And now I have ND5 EVF on, and now I can go and make some images with this and then accept. Now it's on. And now we can start using. As you can see, the Live ND, what it looks like when I move the camera. It can show you the motion blur on the image. And okay, now that we have it turned on, why don't we make some images? There are lots of trams or streetcars or whatever you call them running around Alexander streets, and I will go and make some images of those. And remember, there are some restrictions on the shutter speeds when you use the ND filters or the Live ND, and here are all the restrictions. And as you can see, when it's very bright like now, it's sun starts shining, it's very hard to use half a second shutter speeds without stopping down a lot. And if you stop down too much, then the diffraction might affect the image quality. But let's see what we can do with these conditions and the Live ND. And the Live ND preview can be watched from the LCD or the EVF, and that's very good. As you saw, the motion blur worked very well with the Live ND, and even though the image wasn't one of my greatest, you probably got the point how it works. And the most obvious thing is, of course, making images of moving water, as I said many times in this video already. And yesterday I went to one of my favorite places in Helsinki to make some images of the moving water, and let's see how that went. Now we're here at the Vanha Kaupunki. The first thing I'm gonna try is to show you how the Live ND can be seen on the LCD screen. I have this scene to be photographed. I just thought that maybe I'd take the 40 to 150 millimeter this time. I've usually been here with the wide angle, so I'd try to do a telephoto shoot this time. Okay, let's take the first image with ND2. Okay, and this is what it looks like with ND2. Let's try ND4. And now we have ND4. And what about ND8? And that was ND8. And then go to ND16. And okay, and then the last one, ND32. And so this is the way it works, and this is the way the images look. And you saw the exposure values on each image. And remember, Live ND is not a physical ND filter inside the camera, so it does not work with video. It would be great, but it would need tons of processing power, because the way it works, it stacks images. It's exactly the same way you could do in post to make 5 images and then stack them together to get the motion blur effect, but that's done inside the camera. And what another great thing is that when you make the long exposure images with the ND filter or with the Live ND, you don't need a tripod because of the very powerful image stabilizer that Olympus cameras have. So it makes long exposure with Live Comp and Live ND really easy. And then I came up with an idea that what happens if you combine a traditional ND filter that screws on here and then have also the ND filter or the Live ND turned on the camera. Actually, I did that yesterday when I was photographing moving water. So let's go and see how that went. And okay, we're back here, and next thing we're gonna do is to test a ND filter and compare it with Live ND and see what the difference is with the image quality, what the difference is with the image, what it looks like, and is there any difference in the exposure values when I use this or the ND. This one is all the way up to 1 from 7, and I will try to use that as ND filter 32 and the same that I have here with Live ND. And let's see how this compares. And okay, the first image will be without any ND filters or Live ND, just regular image with shutter speeds of 1/15 of a second, f5.6. And that's what the image looks like. And now we have Live ND 32 on this, and let's try the image. And the shutter speed is 1.6 seconds, and that's what the image looks like. I had the aperture f5.6, so that wasn't changed at all. But let's try without the Live ND and put a real ND filter on the camera. And with the ND 32 we do get 2-second exposure, so the exposure is exactly the same. And here we go, and it was actually a bit overexposed, so let's try 1.6 seconds. And that looks better. So the exposure is exactly the same. And then the next very interesting thing is to try, what if I add Live ND to a ND filter 32? So then I have, actually it should be 10 stops when I have 5 here, and then I said 5 here, so that should be 10. Let's see what happens. Yes, it's on 5, and let's turn it on. The strange thing happens. Now I have a 50-second exposure. I need to figure out why. That's something strange. But let's take that image. It takes 50 seconds. Okay, and now it's done, and the image looks like this. And the next thing I'm gonna try is I will try to make an image with only with the ND filter, which I will set up to be 10 stops like I had when I had the combination of a ND 32 in front of the lens and ND 32 Live ND on the camera. But let's set it up. I'll turn off the Live ND shooting, and then I will set up this to be 10 stops. This is about 10 stops, and I only get a 15-second exposure, which is actually kind of strange that with the combination I got 50-second exposure, and with 10 stop ND filter I only got a 15-second. And this is what the image looks when used ND, I think 1000 or 10 stops, I think it's ND 1000. This test has been really interesting, and I need to test some more, especially the combination with the ND filter in front of the lens and using the live ND, because the exposure values were really strange. But if we know how it works, we can really use long shutter speeds with the combination. But hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.